good morning and welcome to Love Island the morning after, the only official Love Island podcast.
This morning we have a stellar team for you. Myself, Amy Hart, the wonderful Indiyah Polack, and with us all week is the amazing broadcaster, Jackie Adedeji.
Good morning, my beautiful queen.
Good morning!
Third time's a charm. We've had the best week.
Yes.
We've got another great episode today. It was a great episode last night.
It was great.
Oh
it was
my
tough.
gosh.
Yeah.
It was tough.
There's a lot going on.
So much to talk about.
Yeah,
So let's get straight into it.
Let's do it.
First of all, we had the fallout from the talent show. So obviously Sean did his sweet roast and Joey's rap. Now Josh was really, really not happy. He said, "You called me a dummy. Like, do you think I'm going to take that line down, basically?"
Yeah.
Do you think he was right to be annoyed?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? I always find the way to find the bit of both sides. But last night, I just couldn't quite shake it.
Yeah.
I just personally don't really understand. I get it's a sweet rap and, you know, you're doing your digs and whatever. If somebody has said they don't like something, you don't do it.
Yeah.
You don't get to decide what is a joke and what isn't. If somebody has made it very clear that they don't like something.
Yeah.
So I was really team Josh on that situation. I was just sort of like, come on, guys, read the room.
I felt like Sean knows deep down that would upset him and he still did it. And I was
Yeah.
a bit like, I get it's a roast and you're meant to roast people, but you can see that it does bother him. Like, just
Yeah.
let it go.
He sort of said he wasn't going to say anything else about it and the situation was done. You know, like kisses inside and outside of a challenge?
Yeah.
It's like bringing it up inside and outside of a challenge. Like, I won't bring it up anymore outside of a challenge.
Yeah.
But in a challenge, it's a sweet rose. I had to talk about something. But he did go in more on some people than others. And he was quite nice to all the girls. It was just certain boys that he wasn't very nice to.
Yeah, it's very selective to choose Josh to do it to, I felt.
Yeah, and I think it was just the constant like going back over it. And like, you know what? Josh handled that situation very well because as he did say, he's saying like, you know, I'm getting fed up. You guys are antagonizing me. It's tedious. It's tiring.
Yeah.
Even for like me as the viewer, it was tedious. It was tiring
Yeah.
because it's like nobody laughed.
No.
So how was it a joke?
Also, I feel like we never laughed when Joey said secret.
Yeah.
So we're not going to laugh.
We know it's
at
not a joke.
We've moved on.
Yeah,
Come on,
it's
Sean.
a very sensitive topic,
Yeah.
and I think especially because it's not just Josh that was affected by the situation. It was Jess, it was Mimi, it was
Yeah.
Io. So it's just sort of like you're now getting other people involved, and you're not taking anybody's feelings into consideration.
Totally.
I don't want to hear about it anymore. And when he said you're antagonising me, I love that he used that word because he sort of like took it like to a deeper level than like just arguing. And then Joey was like, "You're antagonising me," which is,
Oh, Joey.
no, you are.
It was
No,
so,
you
Joey
are.
can be so childlike at times.
Yeah.
And I think it's a thing where I don't know if he's just trying to like be the lad and just be like the joke of the villa, but it's like we're 8 weeks in now, nobody finds it funny.
Yeah.
Just stop.
Yeah, and I also
know?
feel like, you know, sometimes you can have disagreements with people and it's like, you're committed to misunderstanding me.
Yes.
Like, it doesn't matter what I say, you've already decided what your answer is going to be. And I just felt that energy from Joey and Sean with Josh. Like, they don't want to understand what he's saying, quite literally.
Yeah.
He said, you know, it's not just me, it's Jess and Mimi and Io. Like, there's four of us. There are four of us in this marriage.
Fantastic four.
And, you know, for Mimi as well, like having to stand there while it's get brought up again. And again, like I said last week, like it's embarrassing enough that she tried to get Io to the terrace and he wouldn't go. So to keep bringing it up, it's not even just winding her and Josh up. It's like bringing up the fact that she got pied over and over and over again. She said to Joey, didn't she, like, I don't bring up your missing demos.
And she very much can do. And I think it goes to show, and I think Mimi has now realised what her friendship with Joey actually is. Because there was a point in time that she did trust him, which is why she even asked him, look, can you go get Io because I want to have a conversation with him. She trusted Joey with something that was actually quite important at the time. And he's done nothing since then but throw it back in her face. And I think that is actually quite a tough watch because I feel like in such a pressure cooker environment where friends are important, you know, there's not that many of you, you're going to put your trust in certain people. For someone to actually just sort of show you how much that friendship means to you, it's not very great. No.
Joey tried to cover it up by saying, like, it's not what we're saying, it's the fact that they can't handle the truth. Which is deflection at its best, isn't it?
Yes.
It's very like, I'm sorry if I upset you.
Not I'm sorry that I upset you. Because that's what you want to hear.
Yeah.
Just acknowledge my feelings.
Yeah.
That's it.
And also, what truth? Because as it stands, Josh and Mimi are actually still together, and so are Io and Jessica.
Yeah.
So there's actually no truth here. The only person that knows what could have happened on that terrace is Mimi.
Yeah.
Yes.
And nothing happened on that terrace as it stands. So there's no truth.
Yeah.
The truth is that these two couples are thriving, and that's all it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Literally.
And there's always 3 versions of the truth.
There's always
Your
3
truth,
versions.
someone else's truth, the truth.
The truth.
Yeah.
The truth.
Here, here.
But do you know what? We also saw last night that Sean eventually apologised. He did go over to Josh and was like, do you know what? It was meant to be a corny joke. And Josh did accept his apology, but with a pinch of salt.
Yes.
Do you think that was all right? Do you think it
I
was
mean,
good that Sean kind of put his hands up?
Why couldn't he just say it at the beginning? When he knew it upset him at the end of the game, say, I'm really sorry, it was a corny joke. He doubled down and doubled down and doubled down until basically everyone in the villa was like, no, Sean, you're wrong. And he's like, oh, okay, I'm really sorry, it was meant to be a corny joke.
Yeah.
But Josh was right to take it with a pinch of salt because we've had so many apologies. I feel like I'm in deja vu. Every time Sean brings it up with someone or brings up the secret mission, brings up the terrace, brings up Mimi and Io, he then doubles down, apologises, and then everything resets. And then it happens again and again and again. There's only so many times you're obviously not sorry.
Yeah.
If you were sorry, you wouldn't do it again.
You wouldn't do it again.
Yeah, it's like my pain should not be your entertainment.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What a word, Jackie. What a word.
Thanks, Indiyah.
Although my pain should not be your entertainment, we are avid reality TV viewers. All of us.
We are actually. Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Do we think that Sean and Joey wouldn't be behaving this way if they didn't have each other? Because it kind of seems like they've been acting like a little duo, you know, a little, in Matilda's words, Tweedledee, Tweedledum.
Yes.
You know,
Or
so
like
we
kind of
think
said the Chuckle Brothers.
The Chuckle Brothers.
Yeah, I actually feel like, in a way, Joey for Sean is like the big brother, like he wishes he had. Like you can see he looks up to him and he's like, wow, like big brother energy. So I think he feels confident. You know, it's like there's strength in numbers. I feel like he feels really confident that he's got Joey. But I just think that because he's so young, I just think he doesn't really realise the implications of his actions. Like I think he's just thinking like, oh, well, Joey does it and gets away with it. And it's like, yeah, but
you're not Joey.
You're not Joey, babe.
You're not Joey.
So like maybe don't do that.
Yeah.
You know?
yeah.
But I think he's just young, isn't he? And I don't think he really realises the true extent of his actions. Really, I don't think he's aware of actually how hurtful it is. And it's quite clear on the episode, once he realised how much he had hurt Josh, he was apologising profusely.
You know what? I did believe that until we got to the end of the episode and they had the game and they brought it up all over again.
Yeah, I mean,
You know, so then whatever Josh was saying, taking his apology with a pinch of salt, it's like, you're telling me that you know that you're wrong and you're sorry, but every given moment, you bring it up and you do it again.
Yeah.
Before we go on to the game, one person that didn't agree with us was Grace. She thought that Josh shouldn't have bitten.
I was surprised at that. Because I was like, Gracie Bombasi.
But you know what? This is a bit of a devil's avocado opinion here.
Do you think it's because she fancies Joey?
No. Now, I was eyeballing Grace the whole episode. I was really watching everyone last night and seeing their reactions and just taking in everything they were saying.
Yeah.
And I just got this little feeling that ever since Devil's Avocado,
We're ready.
ever since Josh made it clear that he was no longer romantically interested in Grace, I feel like she's kind of sort of washed her hands off of him and felt like, you know what, you don't fancy me anymore. I don't need to stick up for you or show you any sort of grace. No pun intended.
I like that.
No pun
I like
intended.
that.
Because we know that Grace and Joey really don't get along. If I was Grace, I would be giving Joey all the lashings because the amount of stuff that Joey has put you through in that villa, in no shape or way or form should you really ever be on his side.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I feel like the whole entire villa could see that Josh was very upset by the situation. So I wonder what it was that made Grace think that, you know what, it wasn't that deep.
I don't know, because now you say it doesn't really make sense.
It doesn't.
Because she's been living in Joey's mind rent-free, like always saying she fancies me, she's obsessed with me. So for her to defend him is a bit...
It's a bit...
criminal bombastic side-eye.
It's side-eye.
Yeah, we've stuck up for you, Grace. Do you know what I mean? Like, come on. Like, throw us something, please.
Also, playing Devil's Avocado, you know Sean, right?
Yeah.
I feel like he's just a literal thinker. Like, I think he just thought, you know what, it's a roast. I'm just being silly. I'm just having fun. I don't think he thought about all those steps that actually, in the end, he could really hurt Josh's feelings.
Yeah. I don't know. I could just see on his face in that moment, he thought, ooh, I've gone too far.
I've gone too far.
Even him pulling Joey in the morning in the kitchen being like, like, did we overdo it kind of vibe.
Yeah.
And Joey's there like, no,
chill
stand
out.
your ground.
Yeah.
You didn't do anything
Stand on
wrong.
business.
It's like, I feel like he did feel a little bad.
Yeah.
Sean saw Ruben doing Singing in the Rain and he was like, that man has put everything into it. I can't let him down.
Yeah.
I also have to put everything into it. I need to roast these people.
And probably also because you remember he kept saying, oh, I'm the one wearing shorts and throwing sweets. Like he probably thought like, I also look really silly anyway, so it's not that serious. But actually, it is a little bit, babe.
Well, we've got some good slices of avocado.
Yeah.
We have.
The season of love is nearing its end, and yet the Islanders are still pulling out these unreal pre-love fits from our headline sponsor, eBay. Circular fashion is most definitely having its moment this season. I've seen this Christian Dior shirt on multiple Islanders like Io, Joey and Josh, and I wish I could get my hands on it. The retro design is phenomenal, and it's one of those shirts you can count on for any event. You can dress it up or down, just like the boys have done. The girls have also been rocking some cute archive fits like Mimi, Grace and Jess S channeling tropical vibes in this beautiful rat and boa cord worn by Katie in Series 10. Meanwhile, Matilda and Nicole have added this stunning meshy dress to the pre-love roster. Seasons change, but pre-loved is clearly here to stay. Discover your next villa-worthy look on eBay. Fashion fit for a second chance. eBay, sponsors of Love Island. After all of this drama, we had a lovely challenge. We had the Couple of Sorts game. So this came from a series of polls that were on the Love Island app for the viewers to vote for, all different titles, to really have our say and let the Islanders know what we think of them. So first of all, we started off nice and easy with the hottest couple in the villa. Who would you have picked?
For me, I would have actually picked Mimi and Josh for real.
Same.
Yeah,
I would put Mimi
I
and
wasn't
Josh.
shocked when I saw that they were actually first place.
Yeah.
Because they are a couple of
They are.
sorts.
Yeah, they really are a couple of sorts. I would have picked Mimi and Josh too. So we had that lovely, lovely category to start with. And then things got a bit spicier. They got a little bit spicier.
Bit peri-peri.
So, most vain. Now, the public and the villa both voted Joey and Jessie. Do you think this was Joey and Jessie or do you think it was Joey? End of answer.
Joey full stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, hello, if you want to look ream.
You
gotta
got to
smell
smell
ream.
ream. You got to be ream. Ream. Oh,
Yeah,
do you remember when boys
literally.
used to wear Ugg boots because of Joey Essie?
I can't,
him.
that phase, that was...
Oh my God, yeah. Also, we've actually watched him throughout this series talk about, everyone fancies me. Grace still
Grace
fancies me. I
fancies
know
me.
you still like me.
Yeah.
Joey knows he's vain.
Yeah, I mean,
you know.
even when he met Grace's dad and he was like, I got the family approval, it's just like he was just saying hello.
Yeah, I said
Hello?
mate.
Chill
You
out.
happened to walk past whilst he was there.
Yeah.
There's literally nothing more to it.
Yeah, literally. We also had most genuine. So the public and the villa did vote Nicole and Kieran first place for most genuine. Are we shocked by that? Are we
Nope.
surprised?
I would
Yeah.
have voted
Yeah.
for them.
Yeah.
Do you think that it's because they are the only people in a relationship?
No, I do think they're genuine.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do as well. And like even the way their families met, it just feels
Yeah.
really wholesome and just like nice.
Yeah, I agree. And then second place we had Mimi and Josh, and then third place was Jess and Io, which I actually thought was all quite well.
Yeah.
I think it's all kind of made sense.
I love that. I do think though, some of them didn't link up. So it's like Kieran and Nicole voted most genuine, but then we're also in the top 3 of only staying together to win. But if they're genuine, why are they only staying together to win? I'm confused.
Yeah.
Stick to a party line, please. Please. We had the worst dress sense. Now,
The highlighter shorts.
Ruffled some
so
feathers.
Matilda was so upset
Fuming.
because she said that she is a great dresser, which she is. She's been given fire outfits the whole series.
Yeah.
And she said she's lent them to everyone else as well. But she said she's been pulled down by Sean. So Sean and Matilda, the public and the villa agreed that they were the worst dress sense. But we think that might have been the highlighter shorts.
It was the
think it was
highlighter
the highlighter
shorts.
shorts.
Highlighter
Yeah.
shorts.
You can tell that as soon as they get out the villa, Matilda's going to go into his wardrobe and get rid of all his clothes and be like, I'm going to dress you, babes.
Yeah. I think that was a bit of a public embarrassment for her. She's
Yeah.
sitting there thinking, now the world thinks I can't dress because of you.
Yeah.
But I do think it's harder for boys. I think we are so lucky that we have so many options, so many different shops, like such a plethora of options,
Yes.
whether we have dresses or separates or top and trousers. And we get so catered to when it comes to fashion. Whereas boys, it's like, oh, you're looking for the men's department. It's just that little corner over there. With all the cobwebs on it, with a couple of t-shirts, a couple of pairs of trousers and a couple of pairs of trainers, and that's it. I think we are so lucky that we are able to express ourselves through our clothes so much more than boys.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. I
Yeah.
agree.
And I think if boys then do try and express themselves through clothes, people are like, oh, what are you wearing that for? Like,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
awful. Like,
Yeah.
wear normal clothes.
Yeah.
Like, it's really hard for guys, I think, when it comes
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
dressing.
it is. Yeah, and you've got to be confident to even like want to even really go for it as well.
Yeah.
Like,
I
my dad's
agree.
bought stuff from the women's collection.
Honestly.
And he slayed it. And I'm like, go
Yeah.
on, Dad.
Honestly, someone dating a fellow fashionista.
Yeah.
Literally, Dami loves to dress down. And he is someone I can say, like, I have no issue going into his wardrobe.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes I'll be wearing one of Dami's t-shirts and just like restyling it and everything like that.
That's amazing.
And he's very like free and open and like expresses himself a lot through fashion.
My boyfriend, he looks a bit like Ken out of like Barbie and Ken. And for his stag do, the boys gave him a novelty fancy dress to really like wind him up, to really stitch him up. They gave him a Ken fancy dress. They gave it to him in a bag, like, go and put that on. And apparently he came out the toilet and they all just went, oh,
you look quite good.
You look quite good in it. And the next night they were like, Sam, what are you going to wear tonight? He's like, I might put my Ken outfit back on. They're like, you don't have to. That was just for the airport. He's like, no, I'm going to put my Ken outfit back on. I really like it.
Now it's time to once again celebrate the latest and greatest me moments from the villa with Sky Mobile. The moments where our islanders have put themselves and their needs first. In at number 3, obsessing over Jessica telling Ayo exactly what she wants.
I wanted to say I love you so much.
Oh my God.
I love you so much, Jess. I'm so happy you're here. Obsessed with you. That's what I need to. When you say I'm obsessed with you.
Coming in at number 2, look, if you're looking for a boy from Essex, you're in the right place.
Can't lie, I love an Essex boy.
Do you?
Yeah, I love an Essex boy. Couldn't be more than you.
Can't get any more Essex than
Doesn't
me.
get any more Essex than you.
And finally, in at number 1 is Kieran. If the surveying doesn't work out, he's definitely got a future in speech making.
It's something I've wanted to do for a while. I thought it was going to be just me and you, but I can't wait any longer. Everything you said is exactly how I feel. And I don't want to wait to start the new chapter outside the villa. I want to start it now with you because these past, since Casa, it's been perfect. So, Nicole, do you want to be my girlfriend?
Embrace your me energy with a network that allows you to switch your data plan to suit you. Text PAC to 65075 to switch to Sky Mobile today. 12-month data plan required. For terms, see sky.com/mobile. Okay, we also did have another very rogue question that ruffled some feathers, and it was, which couple is most likely to cheat on each other? Nobody wanted to go up there, but we did have Jessica, who nominated herself because of Casa.
Yeah.
And you know what? I feel like Jess has actually just been like putting her hands up and be like, you know what? I'll take it. I'll take it.
It's that thing, if you say the joke first, if anyone else says it to you, it's not in a mean way.
Yeah.
If I said, like, what the hell am I wearing today? If someone then said, what the hell are you wearing? I'd be like, I said that first.
You take your power back.
Yeah,
you
you
do,
take the
you
power
do.
back.
Yeah.
She said she'd rather be on the podium and right than on the grass and wrong, because that is like a walk of shame, isn't it?
Yeah.
Being
Oh,
like, I'm not in this category. And then it's like, yes, you are. Walk to that
And
podium.
you're first.
But I love how every time they put themselves up for an award, Jessica and Io, and then they weren't actually on the podium. They did that like little dance going back. I loved it. I loved it.
It was cute. It was cute. The polls did actually vote Joey and Jessie as number 1 for most likely to cheat on each other. And why do you think this is?
Ever since Joey's been in the villa, like he's like known like every like bombshell. That's what I think it's that, and like maybe it was Matilda that said something like he like likes people's photos, and I think because he's Joey Essex, I just think like maybe he's got a bit of a like wandering Instagram eye.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's that.
And he has actually known, like half the bombshells that I've walked in.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's got a type, but it's people who apply for Love Island.
And Matilda actually, she refused to go up there. Why do you think that is?
Maybe because she just backs herself.
Yeah.
And also, the final is in middays. Anything can be taken and like blown out of proportion.
Yeah.
They're all fighting to be the best couple that will win Love Island and win that money.
Yeah.
And also the bragging rights of winning Love Island as well. And maybe people would think we might cheer on each other. That is giving people like little seed in their brain.
It goes in your head,
Yeah. But they were actually voted second, so maybe she should have been on the podium and right rather than on the grass and wrong.
Yeah.
But you know what? One thing I can say about Matilda, for a few of these questions, she has very much been, not in a bad way at all, thinking about herself. Because Matilda, in my opinion, hasn't really done too much that is going to strike me and think, Matilda might wander her eye.
Yeah.
Sean, however, we saw his little dance in Casa Amor.
We did.
We've seen what he's been like. And then the same thing with like the whole dressing well. Sean had luminous yellow shorts.
Yeah.
So I think with her saying that, like, I'm not going up there, I think it's because she's like, it's not me.
Yeah.
I've not done anything.
No, it's not me, it's you.
It's you.
It's you.
Literally.
You're cramping my style.
You're cramping my style, Sean. So I understand how she feels and like what she means by like, oh, I'm not going up there. But you are a couple and you are a team.
Yeah.
So what your partner does, it is a reflection of you, unfortunately. Even if you have not done anything.
You're preaching to the choir, huh?
Oh, God.
Next up was which couple are staying together to win. Now, there's a lot of arguments over this. And of course, once again, Joey and Sean brought up the secret mission. Like, give it a rest.
We're over it.
Yeah, and I don't know, do you think we can agree that at that point, that was probably the end of Mimi and Joey's friendship?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, totally.
Yeah, because I just feel like, you know what, Mimi did say, look, Joey, I could have brought up your journey throughout all of this, but she didn't, and she hasn't not once, and she could have.
Yeah.
Like when Mimi said that, I thought, oh, you're actually right, because Joey has done far worse.
Yeah.
Far worse. And I think it was just sort of like in that moment between Josh, Sean, and Joey felt a little bit of defeat. And I think he kind of took the low blow. And that's why he brought up the secret mission, because he didn't have anything nice to say.
No.
So he thought, you know what, actually, I'm going to kick you out. I know it hurts because I'm actually in the wrong here and I don't want to admit it.
Yeah, he got defensive.
Yeah, he got
And then it was
defensive.
just like, I think it's sad because I think Mimi's been so like patient and just really chilled. And obviously she was even getting like upset and hyped up to the point that Josh had to be like, you know, it's not worth it, babe. Because it's just like, why is he doing this? But you know what? I think it's really good that she didn't really pipe up, because they say silence can never be misquoted.
Yeah.
Word.
So it's like, actually, it's better to say nothing.
I mean, she did call him a couple of names that I won't mention on the
yeah,
podcast.
she did.
Because we don't want a little E next to our podcast title. But I think this shows that Josh was correct to take the apology with a pinch of salt, because
100%.
Joey and Mimi's friendship, I think, is over, because the only thing that could happen would be for Joey to sit down and apologise to her again. But he did that the night before, and they did it again. So we've said already that the apologies mean nothing, but now they really, really mean nothing. And it's a waste of his time. It's a waste of her time. It's a waste of everybody's time. It's a waste of our time.
Yeah.
So really hope that he doesn't try to apologise again, because it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. It's almost like the equivalent of your like partner does something to you in your relationship, and then every time you have an argument, you just bring it up all the time. It's that sort of energy, and it's like, let it go. I thought we've moved on, and it's that energy, and it's just not necessary. And also, it's not his relationship.
No.
Minding your business is free.
Put that on a t-shirt.
Oh, God.
And then the big finale was which couple won't work on the outside. Now, Joey was so quick to pipe up and be like, oh, they're probably going to say me because, you know, my life's here, there and everywhere and I'm busy and, you know, basically saying I'm famous.
Yeah.
And Jessie's not going to fit into that, but she will. And Josh really tried to back Jessie up and say like, all right, Joey, you're busy. But Jessie, I'm sure you've got a life as well. And it broke my little heart when she said, oh, I just do a 9 to 5. Like, no. And Josh was so good. He was like, that's amazing, Jessie. That's amazing. You're busy as well. I wish she'd been a bit more like, I see my friends. I've got a job. I have hobbies. I
can walk on stilts.
I've got my sessions with the German circus performers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can't fit you in, my love.
Literally.
But sadly, Grace and Ruben were voted first on this, which probably everyone's a bit like, oh, okay, well, it's only a poll, the Love Island app. Which, to be fair, I think we all thought as well, it's only a poll on the Love Island app. But it's never just a poll on the Love Island app, because they actually got dumped from the island because they were voted the most likely not to work on the outside.
It was such a shock.
Yeah.
Because I think Grace herself, especially for a question like that, she's like, do you know what? We'll prove you all wrong.
Yeah.
And the Love Island God said, you will. Go on, show us. Get out of here.
Stage is yours.
So it was, even me, when I watched it, I was like, oh, do we feel like Grace and Ruben will work on the outside now that they've had this massive test?
I feel like, I will say, in their defence, I think life in the villa is very different to life on the outside. Mm-hmm. Some people are very famous, some people have 9 to 5 jobs. And I feel like, because people love to be negative, someone could come out of Love Island and be together for 10 years and then split up and they go, see, Love Island's not real. Love Island's not real. Some Love Island relationships are longer than relationships of like normal people or before you're in the villa. You might be in a relationship for longer. It doesn't make it any less real because it's come from Love Island. Yeah. So I think they might work, they might not work, but I don't think it's cut and dry in that it's because it came from Love Island. It's because they were forced together and they were only together to try and get through to the final and stuff. I think just life is so different when you get out.
You know what? I think they'll give it a good go.
Yes, they will.
They were also voted for the least sexual chemistry, but hey, they've got all the time in the world to build up that sexual chemistry and have loads of fun time.
Yeah, cheeky snog.
Yeah, all of that stuff.
I mean, we will miss him around the villa. Ruben, he's just such a little ball of energy, and everyone that's come out said that. And Grace has really showed us how to carry yourself with decorum and to not take any nonsense.
Yeah. I mean, she told Joey a few times.
Yeah, she did.
Like, I'm living in your mind rent-free.
Now, let's see if we ever hear, but Grace still fancies me again. Now she's gone.
Oh, my gosh, no.
Yeah.
Because then we'll know whether it was to get a bite.
Oh, my, It's also giving, like, why are you so obsessed with me?
And on that note, that is it for this morning. And for this series, that is it for me. It has been so amazing. Thank you so much to all of you for watching and listening every day, for giving us your feedback and for joining us on this amazing journey. I've got to go home, so I've got to pack my case because we are going to Mallorca for After Sun on Sunday. Indiyah and I and Chris will be there. And from tomorrow, you have the wonderful Chris, Indiyah and Jackie for the rest of the week. See you later. Bye guys.